So I've just gone out and grabbed a branch from a bush. Kind of prefer this tree compared to some other ones because the leaves curl up but stay open enough. Because I kind of panicked the other night when I couldn't see TR and she was hiding in like a 3-leaf cocoon, which was relieving when I found her, but scary for a little bit. So I got the old branches, which I'll recycle sometimes, especially if she's got a nest that looks really good and is on one branch. Just wipe down the tree block because it leaches a lot of tannins and I don't like it. Might stain the bottom of the cage, I don't know. And then just trying to figure out the best way to put this branch and pick the correct size hole, which this one's nice, it's a snug fit. And then did this one a lot quicker than I'd normally do, just to try and keep the video shorter. Just roughly lining up the depth of the cage there, and then totally forgot about filming angle and left the door in the way for most of this. And try to cut it down to fit, but sometimes like this side branch right at the front door, it's gonna suit better just sliding up along the side of the cage instead of chopping it off short and having a big bare patch in the top corner. And then notice that we got a spider in the leaf here, so just cut that guy out and put him in the scrap pile. Grab my couple of twigs that help hold the tree plate into a corner. Just go for an attempted fit, but from experience it never goes properly, so you just start it and then trim a little bit. And then I think this is where we get our second visitor. So you should see the little spider running across the bottom now. And I'm like, okay, you go that way. And it's like, nope, I want the primo bushes, and I'm like, nope, not good, I need them. So just chase them to the scrap pile of leaves. Go for another attempt, should fit. Happy with how the left hand side slides up onto the perspex. Gotta do a bit more trimming on the top. Just from experience, if there's too many leaves bunched up on the top of the cage, she doesn't really like going around them or using them. And I try and keep her corners empty so that she can build a nest in the cage. So the base plate moves up and down, the tree plate. But once I get the branch in, it sits nice and flat and doesn't want to shake around when you pick it up. Just touching up some leaves. the main problem with this cage, this is the second cage I made for her. It doesn't have a top corner at the front, and a few times I've had to destroy her web nest opening the cage, and it feels really bad. So that's why the prototype's got a top and a bottom. Just trimming off some minimal leaves to try and thin it out, so you don't get that giant clump of leaves that she might make like a mega nest in there or something, and then you can't see them, and then panic sets in. But she's shed 3 times now. I don't think she's gonna physically grow any bigger, as far as I can tell from research. She's roughly 12 to 15 millimeters in size. So I'm happy with that branch now, but I just like to put something a little bit extra, you can't see it from this angle, just to fill in the bottom. Kind of helps when you're feeding the spider, so a moth can fly in and just fly straight onto a leaf, not fly around an empty space and then fly back out. So, and then the best time to feed is nighttime. Try and turn off all your lights in the house or the room, and put a little LED torch on top of the cage, so the cage becomes a light box. And then I catch moths in those little jars, and you just open the door. The spider's a day spider, so she'll put herself to sleep and just stay in a nest. So you just open up the cage, lights on, dark room, pop the lid, and the moth will just fly straight for the light. And then you can just shut the door and that's it. And she'll have a moth to eat in the morning. Just trying to get TR back out. Tiny Rick. Kind of named her before I figured out she was a female, but couldn't be bothered renaming, so just TR is fine. And I'm like, she's being stubborn and making the video longer, but then she shows some interest in jumping up. And jump. Yeah. And then she's really running because I haven't really played with her. And yeah. So I'm like, get her inside the cage as soon as possible. And then the moth I saved from earlier, I'm like, I'll just see if I can get this guy back in. Save's trying to catch a moth tonight. And of course it's bright everywhere, so this was just a great failure. And then it just flies away. I'm like, oh well. So you just gotta watch, she's right at the edge of the door there. Big squish point. Don't want to squish her. But at the same time, don't want to chase her with my hand, because then she might get negative memories about the hand. I don't know. So she crawls along, kind of goes back in, and then the best part is a fly lands on the inside of the cage while I'm shutting it. And I'm like, perfect. She has a meal, and the cage is nice and clean. So yeah, all done.